Hello, my loves. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. So let's jump straight into your reading today. All we have here, girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. So for some of you, I do feel like you're happily single at the moment. Let's see. Are you moving on? I do feel like for some of you, you're connecting with friends. Or suggesting to do so. Engagement ring. Engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, union. I feel like with that one coming out, there's something here about you. I feel like there's been a completion to a cycle here. And you're starting to, for some of you, I feel like you're starting to get happier in your own skin. For some of you, you might be, moving on to something new. I feel like you may have maybe a commitment to yourself here. We have here hammer and we have love. So we have sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. And we have love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction. So I do feel like this is due to a runner here. We have the runner. So I do feel like somebody may have gone on the run here. Just saying. But I do feel like there is a sense of, stop. I feel like you've really stopped now to smell the roses. So I'd like to say for some of you, you're rebuilding your life. You're taking control of it. You may be taking care of yourself with the self-love and oneness. I feel like you're starting to feel good about where you are instead of seeing it as a burden. Because I feel like some of you in the past may have felt like it was a burden because of it's never the easiest to be on your own. But I feel like you're starting to get into this space of, oh, I'm actually really good where I am. And, I've got my friends, I'm connecting with my friends, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling better about this. And I feel like it's knocking down old paradigms of yourself. And I feel like there's something here about, for some of you, you're coming out of this, and this person that used to accept these sort of people. For some of you, I feel like you've stopped being, because there's always a runner chaser, but I feel like there's something here about it. You stopped chasing the runner. You've stopped chasing the runner. You're like, no. Although you do reflect on this because we have the camera underneath. I feel like you do reflect on and you reminisce about parts of like the past here. I feel like you saw in the long haul, the long run, you're like, oh, this is not as bad as what I felt it was going to be. Very good. So let's see. What's gone on in the past for you. Let's have a look at that first. What's gone on in the past for you? So we have the Empress, beautiful. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Devil, and we have the Nine of Wands. I feel like you were in a repetitive cycle here, and I feel like with the Empress coming out, there was a sense of you had to break free from where you were. There was lots of conflicts, lots of fighting, lots of I feel like this sort of this storm was always brewing with somebody else here, which let out these toxic behaviours to come out between you. With this Devil card, I feel like there was lots of addictions coming to the forefront. There was I feel like it was all caused from past hurts, past traumas, and all this yucky stuff from the past here that was haunting you a little bit. But at the forefront, there was these toxic behaviors, not feeling great about yourself, which led to sadness, that led to addiction. It's like there's lots of underlying issues here, and it made you defensive. It made you feel sad. And I feel like you were outgrown where you were, because we have the Empress here. I feel like for you, you started to take care of yourself, start taking care maybe of your family. For some of you, it was like seeing yourself in a different way. I feel like for some of you, you had to see yourself as valuable. You had to see yourself as worthy and see yourself as deserving of all the nice things. And I feel like, again, this is something about here nurturing yourself, loving on yourself, and it's allowed you to come out of this into the sunshine. So I feel like, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the present moment. Let's see what's going on for you right now. I feel like you've just outgrew where you were. Let's see. Present moment, please. We have the Emperor. We have the Ten of Blades. We have the Page of Wands. And we have the World. I do feel like at present there's something here about this new beginning happening, because it had to have the breakdown to have the breakthrough. We have the Tower, and it was in reverse. So I do feel like you're coming to the end of this Tower, where you sort of like been rebuilding from this, because you were hurt by this person. I feel like there was a sense of control with this Emperor as well, and I feel like there was something here about you being hurt by this person. I feel like for some of you they came across as very like friendly, family orientated, like there was a facade here. I feel like this Emperor had a facade behind them where they looked friendly and great on the outside, but there was something here about them not being as they seemed. And I feel like, and ultimately, it did hurt you. It hurt you a lot. And I feel like you sort of, I feel like for some of you, you're reflecting on this hurt, and you're reflecting on all the things that have hurt you, what stabbed you in the back. It's like, it's not very nice. And I feel like for some of you, they're still watching you as well with the security camera. I feel like there's an element of control with this Emperor, and I don't really like it, and that's the truth of it. I feel like there was an element of control, whether that be it had to be their way, or the highway, or there's something here about this Emperor. Like, as much as they were about building empires and things like that, I feel like there was an element of control around this Emperor, and they liked things to be their way. There was no middle ground with it. Again, I feel like this facade was put on like they were a great person, but there's also this facade of, I feel like, an arrogance with it as well. I feel like it hurt you ultimately in the end. I feel like you're coming out of it though, where you've started to rebuild, because you have rebuilt it. You've been rebuilding ever since, because I feel like you've been taking more chances lately with the Page of Wands. I feel like you've been exploring more maybe of your options here. You're starting to explore. I feel like for some of you, you've been taking a little bit more, like taking more risks here. So maybe you're getting yourself out dating for some of you. You've been taking more of like, well, what happens if I stay single for some of you? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like for some of you, you've been taking those risks and saying, oh, well, what would it be like to do it this way instead of doing it that way? You've, like, again, taken more risks with this Page of Wands. And I feel like you're getting enlightened along the way. This lad here, boy. is he's lighting the way for himself, but it's like I feel like there's like a sense of wonderment. There's a chance like a sense of like childlike wonder when you're going out into the world again and like exploring, like, oh, this actually feels really nice, this feels really good, and maybe you're exploring more hobbies. It's like you're coming at it from a different way. It's like a fresh new way of looking at life, and you're taking more risks. And like I feel like for some of you, you're overcoming the hurdle of your own emotions here, the emotions, because that's like a beck or a river or something, but you're jumping over, like he's jumping over that, and I feel like you're overcoming the emotions as well. So let's see what's going to happen in the potential future. Let's have a look at that, because I feel like you've overcome quite a lot here, and you've rebuilt where you needed to go to. Let's see. This is beautiful. Let's see. Potential future, please. We have here mature woman. I've just changed my cards. Let's see. Potential future, please. We have message of concern. Thoughts. And we have sudden wealth. I do feel like All right, okay. Right, okay. We have sudden wealth now. I feel like there is going to be. I feel like as soon as I seen that message of consent, I feel like this emperor person, this person that likes the control, so to speak, may come into your awareness again, your thoughts. We have the thoughts there, and I feel like you live rent free in their head, basically. I feel like they're gonna try and come forward to you and say something. Um, what their perception of concerning is. I hope this makes sense. I feel like for some of you, like this person's gonna come in and be like, "I'm so worried about you because of la 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 la," and I feel like they're coming from a place of of they want you to be in fear so that you come back, sort of thing. I feel like for some of you, like this person used their, I would like to say, how do I explain that? Their authority to manipulate you in a sense. And I feel like they might message you with concern, like, oh, this person's like doing this, and I'm really worried for you, and this person did this, and they're not a nice person, or whatever. This person might have been older than you. I'm seeing the mature woman. It might not even be a woman. This even could be a friend here as well. For some of you that you were really close to. And there's something here about a skewed perception. And like sometimes it's for your best interest, but I feel like for them it's for their own gain in a way. I do feel like there is something here about the sudden wealth coming through here. We had gift yesterday and it's out again. So there is some money coming in for you. Because you are, I feel like for you, you are grown and, you know, I feel like you've gone through what you've needed to go through, but now you're coming out in high honour. And I feel like it's because you're honouring yourself and how you feel and you're moving on into, a new way of being. This is beautiful. Not being scared, not living in fear. I love that for you. So, let's see. What's the advice for you? I'm so happy for you. Actually, this is lovely. It's actually quite nice to see this for once, where somebody's not scared to like look beyond the relationship and not scared to go and explore like friendships and things like that. I think that's great. Like even for some of you, like even if you are in a relationship, it's like I feel like you're not accepting the old back in, which is beautiful, and I love that for you because like you're exploring a new way of being. You don't have to be stuck with the same people's different day sort of thing. Because I feel like whoever this was to have a big sense, I feel like they can't get you off their mind because there is attachment on their end as well. So let's see. Advice. Let's see what we want to say to you. We've got here loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let good in. I will find this in the book. I'd say it's actually a beautiful reading and I really enjoyed that. So this is great. I love it when they're like this, honestly. Loosen your grip. Your cyclic beings and Mother Earth teaches us how to be human every day with the coming and going of tides and seasons. If you're clinging to anything, you're resisting the natural flow of who you are. The things we cling to are often those we need to let go of. The food, the substances, the relationship, the job, the people pleasing. The things we cling to often cover up our most vulnerable space, the part where we're most afraid to leave empty, the part we guard and don't let grace into. But we keep keeping the space covered with something that doesn't serve us, or clinging to it for fear of it not staying of its own accord. We prevent ourselves from receiving the things that will, of course, in miracles tell us whatever we leave empty, grace will fill. And the Buddha said, You can only lose what you cling to. Indeed, both are true. If the card appears, you are being called to find the courage to loosen your grip and give up control, to release your coping mechanisms and to leave space for grace and God to enter, to surrender all the feels dense to the divine. Loosen your grip doesn't mean what you're clinging will go away. It may or it might stay. But you can be sure that what is for you will find you. And you'll breathe easier, knowing that you've shifted from relying on your own inner strength to surrendering to the grace of life. So what are you clinging to for the fear of nothing coming to take its place? So for some of you, I do feel like there is a need of letting go of the control the way that I feel like for some of you, you have loosened your grip, but for some of you, you may even be struggling to let go of this person. Maybe you're watching them, you're finding out wanting to go on with them, things like that. But I feel like there's a tiny bit of you maybe holding on to that, and that's okay, and it takes time. I feel like there might be a tiny fear here of being alone, and yes, I want you to honour that feeling, honour the feeling of that, but because I feel like sometimes we're too easy to let things back in for fear of being lonely, but ultimately it is up to you what you want to do. But I feel like you've come so far. For some of you, I feel like you've come an awful long way. And to release that control is going to allow you to move on too. Let life take the reins for a bit. Go and do stuff you enjoy. I know I harp on and that about it a lot, but it is like a case that you've got to force yourself back out there for some of you, because I feel like some of you may be even clinging on a little bit to how it ended and things, but like that's in the past, and we have to allow our future to be put into the forefront. Like, where do you want to be this time next year? Do you want to be sitting doing this all the time? It's just a thought, really question things. See what you want to go and prepare yourself for life. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you want to build in the next year? Start small. Maybe you want to get healthy. Maybe you want to go and change some mad shit up. Go and clean your room. Anything just to help you get going. Start. There's never too late to start, ever. Even if you've been doing this for years, today's a good place to start. Tomorrow's a good place to start. It's always up to you. So, I'm going to let this go. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you have the most beautiful weekend, and I'll be back on Monday. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Love yous. Bye.